What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series exclusive action figures. So first off, we have Big Ben and the Range Viper, which were both Walmart exclusives from like one of their Walmart cons or whatever they call them. So we got Big Ben as the Night Force, which looks pretty cool there, and then the Cobra Range Viper, which looks cool as well. Love like showing their brain there with their helmet designs. And then we also have the Cobra Eel, which is an Amazon exclusive figure. So it's just the bad version of the scuba diver we've already had. So it's going to be relatively slimmer overall, but all three of these look really cool, so I'm excited to check them out. So let me get them out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off with Big Ben, whose real name is David Bennett. He's a member of the British Special Air Force Service, and in this specific design, he's Night Force, which is a covert team specializing in nighttime surveillance and defensive operations. So he looks pretty cool, and if you couldn't tell, like I said, he's British, so he'll have some British motifs in him, and especially with the Big Ben name, but he does have the Union Jack flag there up on his right shoulder, and overall looks pretty cool. So there we've got his face, just looks like a normal guy, nothing too special, but I love how he has like the black paint all over his face, so that's pretty fun. And then he has the hat up on his head. I don't know what kind of hat, I don't know the stuff too well, but I love how it's got like the ear flaps attached up on top with, you can see like the whitish color fur there that'd be down on his ears, so that's pretty cool. And then he's got this mostly dark outfit, so it's got like the really dark like grayish colors, what it mostly is. He does also have this logo on his right arm there. I'm not sure what it is, maybe like the SAS logo or something, but he's got the long sleeve sort of jacket there, and it comes down more towards the bottom. So like I said, it's hard to tell exactly where everything is going on, but it's like I said, the dark gray got a little bit of green tint to it. It's got green gloves there and then a green vest, so we have the bandolier up on top there, and then underneath we have sort of pockets, and you see straps coming down and go into a belt there around his waist that has some different pockets and holders and stuff we'll have to look at. And then he's got some of the dark gray pants going down as well, so pretty similar colors. And he's got a strap around his leg that has the thigh holster, knee pads, and then some boots, mostly green, look like black boots with a green covering over the top, so those look pretty cool as well. So I love the like different colors of the darker colors with the green and grays and stuff, so I think he looks pretty nice overall, but definitely not the most standout figure. But we'll do the moon, so his head will twist all the way around. You look down that far and up that far, so you can see he's got a neck joint movement in there as well as lower neck, so good movements in there. We get the shoulders that can come up to 90, and it should have like a butterfly joint, but it just has like this sort of float around piece, so it does allow it to move a little bit back and forth. And of course it can rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, so not too bad. The wrist will twist around and hinge back and forth for this hand. Then we go to the ab crunch, so it's hard to see up in there, but there's a crunch, so crunch back and forth, and they should be able to twist at the waist and should be able to crunch a little bit back and forth at the waist, but it's hard to really tell. The hips can come up pretty close to 90 and out to the side, without that far, not far from doing the splits. With the drop down hip, we gotta push back up. We get a thigh twist that'll twist all the way around. The double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back. He can kick his own butt, so good range in that. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So good movements as usual for the G.I. Joe, so nothing to really complain about. Now accessory wise, he does come with an additional head, so we get this mast head that has the gas mask on it, which looks pretty good. I actually like that design. Let's switch it out and see what it looks like. So there he has the gas mask. I think that looks pretty good, and I like how it comes with the neck piece and stuff that all switches out, so it all matches with that hood up over his head. So I think that looks pretty good. That's a nice design and everything, but I think of course just for having it as Big Ben, I'd want this one just to make it more recognizable. And then we get his weapon accessory. So first we get a little Uzi, so just this gray color Uzi. All the guns will be in the same like dull gray color, but nice Uzi with the extended mag, so it looks pretty nice. And then it does also come with the silencer, so we can stick this on the end of it. I don't know if I stuck it on the right way there or not, but it does have the silencer, there it goes, that goes on that way, so we can obviously put this into his hand. But he does also have the thigh holder here on his thigh, so let's slide that down in there. And then there is a slot back here that we can stick the silencer into, so it'll store on him there as well with the gun. And then we get the first of two guns. So first we get this gun, which I thought was like a shotgun because it's got the double barrels there, but I don't know what kind of gun it is. Like I said, I don't know guns too well, but it does have this grip that does fold forward, so you can use that as a grip, either folded up like that or down like that, which is cool. And as you can see, it did fall off, so you just have to be careful with that. I assume it won't stay on too well. And then we do also get a magazine that does come out of the gun, so you can have that as well. So we could give him this gun, and with this magazine it does store on the back here as well, well. So there is this slot back in here that you can try and stick this down in, so an extra storage space for that. And finally we get his main gun, which is like this big LMG gun, which looks pretty cool. So nice big awesome gun. It has the feeder, so it has like the bandolier with the bullets going into it that we can take this off if we want to, and just looks cool overall. So this is a nice big gun. We'll give this to him. And I almost forgot, this gun has a bipod as well attached on it. It's hard to get these things to come out, but you can fold them out as well, of course, for mounting it and giving you more stability. So that's a cool extra feature there. So there I got the gun in his hand the best I could. Now I admit I don't know what I'm doing half the time with this, and I can't get his other hand to hold the gun. It's just way too big for him. So that's about the best that I can hold it there. So I know he has this extra little handle up top to carry it, but yeah, that's about the best I can get, unfortunately. So overall, I think he's a good figure. Just to me, he doesn't stand out enough and look like, you know, different enough to really stand out on a shelf. So for me, it's just another sort of a soldier guy. So nothing really too impressive there, and I wish I could get him to hold the gun a little bit better, but I probably have to work on him quite a bit more than now. So overall, like I said, not a bad figure, just wish he looked a little bit more unique. And next up, we definitely have a more unique looking character of the Range Viper. And Range Vipers are given only their uniforms and basic weapons, then sent into the field where they must get their own supplies, build shelter, and catch food to survive. So I think he looks pretty cool, definitely unique, especially with the blue skull mask with the nice red eyes, and then the brain details like shown. That just looks crazy for this helmet, which yeah, I know it's all just a helmet, but looks pretty crazy overall, but very nice and sinister. I think fits good for Cobra. Then he's got like a blue shirt on with the red Cobra logo on there, a vest over the top with like this more tan color that goes around to the back. So nice vest overall, black sleeves coming down into the gray gloves, belt around the waist with all sorts of pockets and holders, black pants going down with some thigh straps, knee pads, and boot coverings there with the gray boots. So overall, definitely like the colors with the black, gray, and that bright blue just sort of stands out. So very cool looking design. But what we can do is movement, so his head will twist all the way around, can look down that far and up that far. So pretty decent movement. Seems like going back doesn't go as much, but still has some movements. The shoulders come up to 90 with the butterfly joint back and forth and can rotate around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends up that far, which isn't bad. Wrist twist around and hinge back and forth for this hand. Then we get the ab crunch in there, so crunch back and forth. There you can kind of see the cutout, so crunch back and forth, and then twist around at the waist where it should also crunch there as well. Then we get the hips that come up to 90 and out to the side, can do the splits, of course those drop down hips, thigh twist all the way around, the double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, a shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. So pretty much the exact same movements that Big Ben had, so nothing surprising there, and like I said, fits with all the rest of the G.I. Joes, so pretty standard. Now accessory wise, he comes with a number of stuff. So first we get a bandana to go around his neck, so we can put this bandana on him, so that just adds more details there, I guess, around his neck. And then he comes with his backpack, so nice backpack, nice all black design. Love how it's got like number pads and like little screens and tubing and a canister and walkie-talkie and pockets and everything, so all sorts of crazy stuff going on here. Of course, with this we can take and plug this into his back, and then we take this tubing and there's a little hole on the back of his head, so right where the blue connects in the back there is a hole that you stick this tube into, so back like that, so there it's kind of feeding oxygen or whatever into his mask. For additional accessories, we also get a bandolier that we can put around him, so we just got to get this around his body. Now I did have to take his backpack off to get the bandolier on him, but there is that now. And then we get all his weapons. So first we'll start off, he of course as usual comes with a pistol, so we had a little pistol here all in black with an extended mag, looks pretty good. And we have the thigh holster here that we can slide it into, so it sits in the holster there. And then weirdly we also get a sai, so he comes with a sai as well. It kind of doesn't look as intimidating as we get with like Marvel Legends and everything, but a pretty fat blade there, so just a sai that we can take. And he has this little loop here on the back of his belt on this side, so we can take and slide this down in the loop and it'll hang off the back of him there just like that. We also get this pickaxe, so it has like a pick on one side, axe on the other side. It looks pretty crazy, maybe a multi-tool on the other end, so that's pretty nice looking and crazy at the same time. And for this we do have an extra little piece here on his backpack that'll slide onto, so it sticks right on the corner there, so now we have that always along with him. And then we got their two guns. So first we have a grenade launcher, so a nice big gun here with a grenade launcher, so it holds the grenade, shoots it around with the 6-pin, nice scope up top, grip in the front. Overall looks pretty decent there. Now this I do believe does attach onto his backpack. I think if you like take the scope and slide it forward in the back there, yeah, it'll stick on the backpack backpack like that, so it'll just hang off the back there. So that's a nice storage space for it. You know, get as many accessories on the figure as you can is always great. So cool, he can hold that gun back there. And then finally he comes with his main gun of this like LMG, which looks pretty nice. So again, we have a little feeder of bullets into it, a nice little scope up top, no stock on it, and a grip there in the front. So overall looks pretty nice. So we can put this into his hands. And with that, he now has all his accessories on him, so he can store and hold everything, so you have nothing loose, which is always great to have with the G.I. Joe figure. So that looks pretty awesome. And if you didn't notice, which is kind of weird, he's a left-handed as well, at least with he has the hinge up and down hand on the left. So him and Big Ben both were left-handed base characters, which is pretty crazy. So we have him, and of course, since he is an army builder, we do have two of them, so we can have two of our range troopers there. Of course, we can switch up the weapons and everything just to make them look a little bit different, but both look pretty cool there. Just love the design, love the colors, and like I said, with that helmet, it just stands out so much. So definitely a unique character for the shelf. And with this being a range Viper, we can bring in our other Cobra Vipers we have. So we have the Alley Viper and then just the Cobra Viper itself. So three different versions of the Viper, a part of Cobra there, and all look pretty crazy. But I think this range Viper is definitely one of my favorites. I think it just looks so unique. And our final figure is the Cobra Eel, which was an Amazon exclusive. Now, Cobra Eels are underwater specialists that are trained in every aquatic environment, and they're trained in underwater combat and experts in water demolitions. Now, if you saw our last wave review where I did Torpedo, he was one of my favorite characters of the wave, so I'm sure this Cobra Eel will be pretty similar because overall they're relatively the exact same, like, you know, similar body design, just a little bit different. But of course, with it being part of Cobra, he has the Cobra, so nice and silver there on the red, looks good. And then has this extra piece up top here around his neck, which looks like there's a lot of space in there. Unfortunately, it just looks way too big, but overall it, you know, doesn't look horrible. It's just pretty noticeable. But with that light gray color, of course the black like balaclava design, but of course it's just his wetsuit up over the top of him, but it looks pretty good with just the face there of the Cobra Eel. And then the black and gray suit continues out. I love how he's got a panel here on his arm with all sorts of gadgets in the screen, and then pretty flat on the other side, belt around the waist with some pockets, and then the gray leggings going down, and he has a little holster there down on his shin as well with the all gray boots. So overall I think it looks pretty nice, pretty skinny character. Of course with a wetsuit on, it'll be all nice and skin tight and stuff, so it looks pretty much like he's got that, and pretty nice design. But we'll do the movement, so the head will twist all the way around, look down that far and up that far, so good range in the neck. Then we get the shoulders that can come up to 90, or at least pretty close to it with these shoulder pads. It seems like it doesn't go all the way, but it goes that far at least and can rotate around. Oh, and it also has the butterfly joint. Then we do have a bicep twist down under that shoulder pad, so it can twist back and forth a little, and then the double elbow joint there as well that can bend up that far, which is pretty decent. Wrist will twist around and hinge, so this has a hinge up and down hand. Then we get the ab crunch. You can see that cut out there, so crunch forward, crunch back, so nice crunching. And then it's also crunching out the waist and twist around. Hips can come up to 90 and out to the side. Again, can do the splits with those drop down hips, gotta push them back up. Thigh twist all the way around, a little bit stiff. Double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, almost kicking his butt. And then we do have a little shin twist, or ankle twist I guess you'd say, down there right above the ankle, and then the foot will rock back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty decent movements, you know, relatively the same, like all the same locations and joints as the other figures, just has a little bit more range it seems like, probably with the skinniness of him. But much like Torpedo, we get a lot of the similar accessories. So first we get a backpack with a mask, so like a breathing mask with tubes and stuff, and like the oxygen tank, nice like cool logo with the eel there wrapped around the anchor. That looks really cool. A little propulsion thing on the back here as well, you know, to help propel him through the water. So we take this and put this on his back and put the mask on him. So there he's got the mask and tank on the back. The mask was a little bit difficult to get on. It's not like super hard, but it just, you gotta get it slid down on there. And of course I can't get it slid down anymore, so it's more centered on his face. So a little bit too high there, but I can't really get it worked down anymore. But that looks good with the tank there and everything on his back, so looks good for that. And of course the fun part with these is that they come with the flippers, so we get the flippers as well to put on his feet. So let's put these on. So with these, just like with Torpedo, slide on pretty well. You just get the foot slid in, and then the little strap will go up around the back of the foot just like that, and keeps them on really well. And of course that also helps with standing. It gives him nice flat base to stand on, so you don't have to worry about him falling over too easy. But there he's got his flippers on, which looks pretty nice. Finally, to weapons, we do get a knife, so a knife with a red handle there. It looks pretty cool. Now with this, we can stick it into the little holster here on his shin, so we can just slide it down in there. So nice storage of the knife. And then very similar to Torpedo, he comes with a harpoon gun, So nice gold harpoon on there. Of course, the rope connecting. We have a little attachment cord there that you can put around his wrist so he doesn't lose it in the water in red as well. So that all looks pretty cool. So let's put this in his hand. So there's the harpoon in his hand, and that is our complete Cobra Eel now. So he looks pretty good. Love the design and everything about it. I love these water characters just because I love like the flippers, the harpoons, the masks, and oxygen tanks and stuff. Just everything about them makes me like them a lot, especially the bodies. Like their nice, smooth, sleek bodies always work out pretty nice as well. So just a nice figure all around. Just so many things to like about it. And of course, comparing him, we do have Torpedo as well. So we have Torpedo and the Cobra Eels now can fight off underwater and shooting harpoons at each other. So that looks pretty cool now, having the Cobra Eel to go along with our Cobra ranks. Well, that's me for our G.I. Joe Classified Series exclusive action figures, where we got Big Ben and the Range Viper from Walmart, from like one of their Walmart cons, and then we got the Cobra Eel, which was an Amazon exclusive. All three are pretty cool. Like I said, unfortunately, Big Ben's a little bit disappointing just because I can't get him to hold the gun, and then he just looks pretty generic, you know, just like a generic army guy. But definitely the Range Viper and the Cobra Eel just look pretty nice and stand out, and both are really cool figures, so definitely happy to have both of those. So let me know what you thought of these three figures down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, let me know with a thumbs up. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.